What's up, everybody? It's Chris with Ninth Limb and the Silent Flute. So the question was about Mulabandha. I posted a mudra maybe 2 weeks ago, Ashwini Mudra, and the title of the video is Ashwini Mudra, Semen Retention in Mulabandha. And the question had to do with something more specific, how to do Mulabandha. The thing is if I do Mulabandha, you don't really see that I'm doing Mulabandha. There's a short answer and there's a longer answer, okay? The short answer is, here's how you do Mulabandha. Pucker your anus. There. That's it. Pucker your anus. That's it. Pretend as if you're peeing and then stop the urination. That's Mulabandha. Okay, that's the short answer. Chances are you're doing probably about 10,000% too much muscular effort to be doing Mulabandha. When we talk about bandhas, we're talking about prana. And when we're talking about prana, we're talking about something that's much less tangible than even your breath. Your breath is not prana. That's why pranayama is not breathayama. Pranayama is two words put together, prana and ayama. Ayama means to like extend or control or somehow regulate. And prana is this kind of unseen life force energy like chi. It's the same thing, just a different name. It's the intelligence that animates matter. It's that primal energy that animates matter. Arguably, the consciousness that animates it might be Shiva consciousness or Purusha, or it depends on what system you come from. And so when we're talking about Mulabandha, it's called Mulabandha, meaning like root, because that comes from the chakra that's residing at that same location, Muladhara, which is the root seat. And so Mulabandha is intimately connected with Muladhara, the chakra. So Mulabandha is related to the chakra. Bandha is to seal or lock in or to bind. Bandha, bind. So what are we binding? We're binding our awareness to a chakra. You're binding your awareness to a chakra. Now, if you were only to focus on a chakra, you could experience this if you're doing like a chakra meditation. You might feel that sense of expansion. It's almost like if you ever tried to stare into the void of your own mind, you close your eyes and you just keep looking at the blackness and you just don't look at anything else, any pictures, you just keep looking at the blackness more. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger. The more you look at it, the bigger it becomes. That's kind of what happens when you focus on a chakra as you're meditating. So if I focused at the red star that's at the base of my pelvis between the pubic crest, the pubic bone, and the tailbone, it's in the pubococcygeus plexus of muscles. That's kind of where it resides. The more I focus on it, but I don't do anything else, the bigger it becomes. That's how you can strengthen your chakra. However, when we're binding, we're attempting to contain. We're trying to contain because, in particular, you do bandhas when you're doing a pranayama practice or an asana practice, like stretching. And so you're generating a lot of prana. You're really releasing a lot of that potential, and you can become a little agitated or maybe even almost a little, I don't want to say egotistical, but like inflated. Your self-image becomes very inflated. It could exacerbate whatever your patterns are. If you have a negative self-image, it becomes, bigger. If it's positive, it becomes bigger. And so the containment helps to channel and funnel and utilize the prana for whatever your own ethics determine is a good use for it. So that anal contraction is Mulabandha, but we want to make it more subtle. In the future, I will show you Mulabandha Mudra, and I'll also show you Mahabandha Mudra, and these are very related to Mulabandha. Obviously, Mulabandha Mudra is. But for now, just understand it's the puckering of the anus. In particular, it's the withdrawing or the pulling of the pelvic floor muscles, the pubococcygeus plexus, towards the root of the chakra, which is the tailbone. So you're pulling the pelvic floor towards the tailbone, but it's very, very subtle. I guarantee whatever you're doing right now, as far as Mulabandha, is too much. You're doing too much. But it's good training. What happens when you flex a muscle for a really long time, you just keep flexing and you just hold it. Eventually it starts to give. Even though you maintain the sensation of flexing it, it will start to soften because it fatigues. That level of engagement, where it's almost non-engagement, it's like just engaged enough that it's not dormant. That's Mulabandha. And as you do chakra meditation, and this is just my story, I never really felt the drainage of prana, like I was losing energy during my asana practice. I feel it now, but that's because I do chakra meditation. When I was doing pranayama, I didn't really notice that holding Mulabandha somehow contained my prana. Then when I started doing chakra meditation and I learned the 7 bandhas of the meridian, now I see it. So I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions or comments on this video, definitely post it below and subscribe to the channel. Namaste.